right, on to week 3, and we have a repeat this week. We are going back to 18.4 for essentially two 21-15-9 workouts. So Diane is the first one with a bit of a funny handstand push-up standard, if you remember that. And then really friggin' heavy Diane with handstand walks instead of handstand push-ups. This workout is very different for all kinds of people based on your skill and on your strength. So we'll work from kind of the top end back. It's got a pretty tight time cap, 9 minutes, which is it's a fair amount of deadlifts in 9 minutes plus all of that other work. So if you're the kind of person that thinks you're gonna get to that second 21-59 and actually do some damage there, then you got to move on that first part, right? It's not if you've ever done Diane before, it can be done really, really quick. You're not looking to PR Diane here, but you're looking to move. That doesn't necessarily mean unbroken, but it definitely means no long breaks. So all your breaks are intentional. Think like 2 to 3 sets on the deadlifts max, 2 to 3 sets on the handstand push-ups max for the 21s, probably 2 sets on the 15s, and don't break it up on the 9s. And then when you get to that heavy bar, again, you're going to be limited by one thing or the other. So we'll work our way kind of back again. If there's no chance you're handstand walking, or like maybe you're going to get your first 5 feet, then really what you're looking to do here is get through that first 21-15-9 as quickly as you can and get through the 21s at the heavy bar at a steady pace, and then you're kind of hoping for it, right? If you're nowhere near handstand walking, you're certainly not going to learn it in 5 minutes. So don't push your luck there. But on handstands, a couple things you want to think about are nice straight arms right away. Try to use your hands and your fingers, as you would your feet and your toes. There's lots of muscles in there to help control those small movements rather than just like trying to walk on peg legs. And even trying to squeeze your legs and point your toes to the ceiling can help give you a little bit of balance. 5-foot increments, so you never know. If you're someone who's going to get caught on the heavy deadlift bar, we don't really need to worry about handstand walking, so we don't need to warm it up. You want to try to get through the first 21-15-9 as unscathed as possible, meaning you don't want to get to the heavy bar and have to do 21 deadlifts at a weight that's 85% or above of your 1 rep max deadlift and try to do that 20 times. It's not going to happen in 4 minutes, right? So we want to go steady and a little bit slower in that first part, even if we can go faster, because we want to get as many reps on that heavy bar as we can, okay? If handstand push-ups are going to give us a problem, right? The standard is that stupid forearm one, where you'll see it tomorrow, but you measure your height, you take half your forearm length and add it, and your heel's got to cross that line or whatever. It's a bit of a dumb one, and it's definitely a disadvantage for people with long forearms, which is stupid to begin with. But anyways, it's besides the point. The standard is the standard. What we really want to make sure, because we're crossing that taped line, is that different than normal, you're gonna want to point your toes towards you, almost like you're walking on your heels, because that's going to make your heel the highest point. If you do the opposite, you point your toes, which is actually what a gymnastics move is a little bit more known for, it's going to drop your heel height, and it's probably going to leave you with some no reps. As you start to fatigue, what's going to happen is the shoulders are going to start to depress a little bit, your body's going to start to sag through the midline, and it's going to decrease your height, which means finishing your reps is going to be really tough. Again, if you're struggling with the handstand push-ups, so you don't want to get to that point where you are struggling. So make sure you're coming off the wall before you get to a rep that you have to like squeeze or struggle out of it. Think about push-ups, right? When you go for a max set of push-ups, that last push-up is, shaking and moving all over the place. And if you had to do another max set 30 seconds later, it's not going to happen. So if you get to that point, come down off the wall, shake it out, right? You don't want to hit fatigue too early, especially because, again, if handstand push-ups are a struggle, 45 is no joke, right? Getting through the first part of that workout, if handstand push-ups are a little bit new to you, is a great accomplishment, right? Finishing Diane in 9 minutes is a big deal for someone whose handstand push-ups aren't great. and I would say that's probably the only limiters that you're going to have. If the 225 or 155 deadlift bar is a big struggle for you, then I would even consider looking at the scaled version, because you want to be able to get reps in this workout. You don't want to just kind of sit on the bar and do 4 or 5 deadlifts every minute and then struggle through handstand push-up singles. On those handstand push-ups, again, kind of two main styles that we have. If we need a big kip because we're lacking in shoulder strength, make sure that you are tucking your knees to your chest. Do not try and kip with only your legs and your feet. It's not going to make you go anywhere. Really tuck those knees in. Feel your butt almost curl off the wall, and then explode with the hips out, right? Driving the hips out and the feet up is what's going to give you height and make the press a lot easier. If you don't struggle so much with those and your shoulder endurance is okay, I even saw an athlete do a few strict handstand push-ups. As long as you're meeting the standard and you're not, getting ahead of yourself and being like, oh, the first 7 feel so great. That's great, but there's 38 left, right? So we don't want to push our luck there. But know yourself, right? Know your limits on your endurance. It's a short one. If you have all the moves, it's gonna hurt. It's a lot of deadlifts. Belt right out of the gate. Don't take the belt off at any point in time. Just kind of loosen it. I would, you can mix grip, you can hook grip, whatever is most comfortable. Trying to think if there's anything else. The longer you can hang on to the bar as it starts to get heavy, the better, because setting up on your first deadlift takes a lot more effort than do the touch and go reps. So that's something else to think about. I remember when I did this workout 2 years ago, I think I did it at least twice, if not 3 times. It was a terrible idea. But for whatever reason, I totally forgot how to deadlift. And when I got to the heavy bar, it was annihilating me. And I was doing singles, and I was doing so much more work by setting up every single rep. So I definitely do not recommend that. I think when I did it again the second time, I got a lot farther, and that was on some pretty fatigued posterior chain muscles. So anyways, guys, warm up that posterior chain really big. Definitely get some touch and go reps in. Lots of breathing mechanics involved in here with the short range of motion. Get after it. It's going to be a spicy one.